Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the finals of Ludi. We are looking at our Ludi or our Div 9 matches, I believe. Our Div 9 finals.
9W to be exact.
9W. Ooh, so we've had more Div 9 action going on at some point.
Yes, actually tonight. Later
Tonight.
tonight is more
Ooh.
Div 9 action. But right now, we're focused on these two teams, Fish, and Dark Striders.
Yes, fish. Now, of course, we know as this is the finals, these two teams have literally beaten every single other team in their div. So they're looking to finish this out. They are fighting for that #1 spot.
Ooh, Fish is in a good position, having gone 5-0 against Blood Inc., whereas Dark Striders was 5-2 against Time to Win. So,
Ooh, dang! Time to win almost made finals as well. Sorry, wait. This is, friends. Good to see them making it as far as I did.
yeah, that means they're third, right?
Yeah. Well,
Good job. What? In what space would they not be third?
well, they got to fight for third, don't they? They're tied for a third, tied for fourth. I don't
Are
know.
they? Oh, I suppose so. I suppose so. There's no
There's
third place. Okay,
there's
well
no
then
third, so they're just perpetually tied for third.
they should make one. They should start their own third place match.
They really should. Figure out who is the dominant third.
All right, we're watching Dark Striders here take control of the zones. They got it down to 95 right now, but we're watching Fish sharking in this corner here, trying to survive, trying to get a pick. But, ooh, they do survive. As a brush, it is pretty easy to just go really quickly against the other team and not get caught out, which is what they did until they jumped. Looks like they're not able to get back to zone quite yet, though.
Yes, indeed. It looks like, honestly, Fish. They're running. No, I'm sorry. Dark Striders running a pretty standard comp. They're opting to have that Tri-Slosher for their cooler, and they're bringing out the Edit Nouveau as kind of like their semi-backline. But Fish, they got something cooking here. They got that brush roller combo, and it's um, the the big swig. There we go. I'm trying to remember which big swig it is. They're just struggling to get back in right now. Fish has not been able to break back in. Dark Striders really locking it down on the base and just almost getting down to the KO. But here comes the Kraken. Two of them are down. If Fish are able to cap it here,
Ooh.
they can hold into this match. Three members are going to be down, and they do indeed cap it.
Ooh, Fish did really well against that Zuka threat. They were able to kind of go around them, circle them, and take them out before they were able to get any picks. We're watching Dark Striders here try and break back in, trying to get some paint on the ground. We see this, is that a ballpoint we're watching there? Oh no, that's an edit, my bad. They were trying to get back in. They're still backed in that corner there though. Fish being pretty aggressive right now.
Yeah, Fish, they really turn the tables on Dark Striders. Like, they're a bit staggered. They're going to be popping crowd, trying to find an opening to get back in, but Fish still has a lot of paint on the ground. They do lose two of their players, looking to just keep what space they have right now. The brush is really locking down this top area here, but they took control of one of the zones just to stall it.
Ooh, Dark Strider's really trying to take back their zone right here over on the right. But Fish is just able to paint it so quickly that they're not able to keep it for very long.
No, and they are getting close to taking the lead back. Three members are down, just the Tri-Slosher, and they're getting flushed out by the members of Fish. But they do get a pick on the roller. They're going to try to cap the zone, at least stall it out, because it is getting down the KO. But,
Oh my
just
goodness.
in the nick of time, they get one. They have to get the other to get that penalty on. Oh,
Oh
but
my
then they're going to be
goodness.
paddled for feint. Just in the nick of time, 1 point, and they're going to be putting a hefty penalty on top of that.
Oh my gosh, Fish got it down to 1 point left, but they were overtaken by Dark Striders, able to capture both zones. Now we see Dark Striders holding their position in mid here, using their specials to keep Fish from getting anywhere close. They are kind of staggering back here. They are getting picked off, unfortunately. Ooh, it's going to be hard for them to break back in here.
Oh my gosh, we're going to be seeing Dark Striders going 3 down once again, but they're so close to getting through their penalty. Like, if they can just keep control of what they got and get their members back in, they can hold out. But right now, Fish, they're battling to break that space back in. Strikes are going to be coming out. Express really going to be locked down the top there.
Oh
But
gosh.
3 members going down. It is just the 96 left. They managed to get a penalty onto Darkstriders, but that 3 down is going to cost them some time.
Ooh, but that penalty though, that might buy them enough time to repaint the zone for themselves. Fish pushing up. They do have 1 down off of Dark Striders. The rest of Dark Striders is kind of falling back here. They are behind this midpoint as another one goes down. They do have Crab. They are trying to paint up and paint forward, but they just don't have enough paint to switch both zones over.
Not at all. Like they do have the range. Dark Stars has that range if they're able to get those splats, but Fish are able to just kind of stall for time here, and that's really all they need to do. But with 3 members down, then 96 once again the last remaining member, they're gonna be backing up here, just trying to keep control of what they got, keep Dark Stars from pushing too far in.
Yeah, we see Fish here painting up, trying to build their Kraken special, trying to break back in. Let's see if they use it or if they're waiting for a good opportunity after some other picks go down. Looks like this Kraken is going in here, going right on the top, the mid area as the strikes come out from their team as well. Fish really trying to break in, really trying to get paint on the ground. One of them is down though. There's 2 down on Fish right now. They're trying so desperately to paint the zone.
Oh no, they threw all those specials they had in there. They did get 1 splat, but it just wasn't quite enough to cap the zone, and with so little members up, they don't have enough paint to recap it. Darkstride is going to be taking that KO and sealing the first match in their favor.
I'm mad. You cannot get a game closer than that. It was 1-0.
It wasn't even just like the 1 point. It was literally the 1 point. The 1 point that they needed to take that, and they just, that is so frustrating to watch.
But it means that these 2 teams are well matched, and it could be anyone's game still. Darkstriders may have gotten this one, but Fish has shown that they're fighting for it. They are doing everything they can.
That's true. And they did have something cooking there, like the big swing brush combo, just the roller and the brush combo in general. You don't see that too often anymore, and they are running alongside pretty much no cooler whatsoever. So they're looking for their shooters to kind of like get those engagements in. The brush to be the little rat as you were, but then the big swing was doing an excellent job of just keeping the paint coming, just especially when it came to capping the zones.
Wow, I hadn't even thought about that they were soda-less, but you're right. Usually teams have fallen to use soda just like that. That's how they keep pressure on. That's how they stay alive. That's how they keep their pushes going. But Fish did not have that. They chose not to have that, and still they got so close.
Indeed. And like literally they went from 100 points to 1. That penalty came from just a flawless streak of getting the points. They didn't get the penalties right at the end. Just they were doing such a good job of keeping that paint, keeping that zone. Just they weren't able to hold it out to the last time.
Goodness. All right. Looks like we are moving on to the next map mode, which is Inkblot Art Academy, Tower Control. Matt, how do you feel about this map mode?
I feel like this is generally considered like the counter pick, is one of the staple of competitive Splatoon. Just is become so well played that a lot of teams have formulated just like their attack pattern and how to defend and attack and all that. So it is a pretty popular map. It is, I think, considered one of the more balanced maps because of that. It is really tight though. I think that and Makam are just like, they have a lot of flexibility, but they're still like pretty smaller map compared to a lot of the other ones, especially some of the newer ones we've gotten. So those weapons that do fight around corners, the Tri-Slasher and the brush and the roller, they're going to have a pretty decent time here.
Do you think we're still going to see a soda-less comp from Fish? It didn't seem to really work out in the first match, but you never know. It could pay off. It got so close.
It's hard to tell because it doesn't really seem like it was a zone specific thing. They just didn't seem to need to run it, and it looks like they're going to be going without it once again.
Ooh. All right, we're seeing here Dark Striders getting a lot of paint in mid here. Fish kind of spread out, trying to see what picks they can get. There is 1 down on Dark Striders already. That's 2 down on Dark Striders, only 1 on Fish. They are staying alive. They are trying to paint up. They get this tower, moving it a little bit forward, but the rider does get taken down.
This is an interesting comp that Fish are running right here. They swapped to that 52 gal instead of the 96. Running alongside the brush is going to give them that double whale, which for tower control is almost as is almost as deadly as like a strikes or a buoy bomb. Just because if you point it at whoever's on tower, it not only takes them out but also takes just a wave behind them. And with if you get it at the right angle on this map, you can really just cover a lot of ground with it just because of the tower path.
Wow, watching a lot of trading happening here in mid. Fish just looks like they are all over this map right now. They're behind the enemy, they're in front of the enemy, they're on the side, they're underneath, they're just everywhere, trying to find picks, trying to be sneaky, trying to get ahead somehow. But a few of them seem to be caught out and get taken down. That's 3 down on Fish, only 1 down on Dark Striders. Nobody really has control of the tower right now.
I think you're exactly right. Like with when they swapped off, having that 96 and that flings it, or sorry, the big swing kind of gave them a little bit of stability for the zones. But swapping to the 52 and the tri-slosher really allows them to be more aggressive, be more mobile. However, now they're on the back foot. They're going to be having to look to find some sort of defense. They're missing kind of that rock that they had before, and just Dark Striders are taking a lot of ground and going through that first checkpoint.
Definitely. Ooh, that's a wipeout for Fish. They're using that to push forward, get more paint on the ground. We see this brush on the left side just getting a lot of paint out. A killer whale goes out trying to keep the enemy from getting anywhere close to the tower, but Fish doesn't really have it any further forward than they had it before.
They're looking to gain some of that space. They don't really have they do have someone on the tower. Oh, they're going to be getting a 3 down right here. That's going to be another wipeout, and they can really take control of this now. And that's kind of what they want right here. Without that the backline, that sort of anchor that they were running before, they really got to play to their momentum. They got to really be pedal to the metal the whole time, just keeping the enemy off foot. And they're trying to do that right here, staggering some of their specials. This Ink Strike, the Ink Jet, they're just going for those spots, and they're going to be taking the lead.
Yeah, I'm wondering if the answer with a sodaless comp is to be really aggressive like that, to just have someone pushed up. That way you can have a spot to jump to, even if you don't necessarily have soda to get there faster.
Interesting, because it's like give and take with the cooler. It gives you that buffer so you can be aggressive, take more aggressive plays, but you also lose what would be a more aggressive special. Speaking of aggressive specials, they are already getting here. They have that third checkpoint chewing through that, and they're just keeping Dark Striders staggered. They're close to getting that KO, and unless the Dark Striders are able to move in, they take out the Rider. The Roller's going to be going for it, but they're going to be taking the KO.
Wow, that was 3 wipeouts that Fish got. That's 3. That's 3 more than last game.
And that was exactly what I was talking about. Like, especially for a tower control mode, just they swapped to that frontline comp. Or as you were saying, Six, they were just all over the place. They were just constantly moving. And once they have that presence, once they were able to like kind of push back Dark Striders, they're able to just keep pushing and just not let them set back up.
Yeah. Oh, we've been told Fish is all CCA. That's pretty cool.
Oh, look, this last push in particular, like especially getting that roller. If that roller has been able to get onto the tower in time, that is like the ultimate tower defense right there. Just especially for the short range, but they were able to just keep it going just the whole time.
They've got so many good clips. Fish did so well in this map mode. They just were able to keep getting the picks, able to keep being sneaky, able to keep Dark Striders on their toes, and just. Even when they were pushed back and spawn, they were still getting those picks. They still got that one wipeout. Like, come on!
It was pretty insane for sure. I'm trying to like rethink through my head just everything that went down there, because they were on the back foot. The Dark Striders were pushing them pretty back into spawn, but at some point, Fish got a wipeout on Dark Striders, and that just kind of like set the ball in motion. They just were able to get wipeout after wipeout off of them.
Yeah, I wonder if that was the motivation they needed. Like, okay, we can do this. We're still in this game. And then they were able to do it 2 more times.
2 more times indeed. And that was the other thing too, is like they had sort of the kind of that midline that the Dark Striders had, that midline that they're running before the edit, and so you feel like they would have kind of the defense. That's what they would be their strongest at, but just kind of it faltered under just how aggressive that Fish was going.
Yeah, and I guess they just Fish was able to kind of pivot. They were able to figure out what they needed to do against Darkstrider's comp to get that match going for them. Like, they were so close in the first one, but in the second one they knew what they had to do.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And then it's just like, what was about that match that kind of changed things for them? Like, could have been the mode, could have been the map. We won't know until we go into this next one. Rainmaker on Robo Ramen.
That's true. We just need more data. We need to see them in action more to get a good idea of what makes them great.
Speaking of, they're going to be swapping to that Wellstring. They're bringing in a bow. They're going to be sticking with pretty much their comp otherwise, but that is just going to increase their DPS and then still going for that kind of aggressiveness that they had before.
Interesting. All right, we're seeing Darkstriders kind of back in their corner now, trying to get some paint on the ground before they push forward. We see the brush off of Fish, trying to make some aggressive plays here at the beginning, throwing some bombs out, trying to keep Darkstriders from picking up this Rainmaker. Both teams look like they're waiting for a few picks before they actually pick it up, but neither team has anyone down right now.
Yeah, for Rainmaker, you really want to make sure that you have a safe opportunity there, because if you push too early or push in the wrong direction, you could get taken out pretty quickly, and that's just a player down, and you have to repop the Rainmaker. But so far, it is going to be Fish with kind of like the paint advantage, but with 2 players down, this might give Darkstriders an opportunity to push forward.
Yeah, I feel like we're just seeing a lot of trades here in mid. One goes down, another goes down. Only one down from Darkstriders right now, but they're all still pushed up in mid. They all still have a lot of paint on the ground. But we're still seeing these trades happen off that main stage area here.
It's so interesting because we'll have those engagements in mid, but a lot of the members are just dropping off to the sides and doing those 1v1s, which kind of led to that stalling in the middle. But Darkstriders seem to have found their open there. They're going to be getting the first checkpoint. 2 members of both sides are down. Ronin on the squeeze are just going to be trying to keep things locked down so they can get their teammates in, and they're going to be going for a few extra points.
Darkstriders able to get it down to 53 now. Fish have it in their area. They're trying to push up, trying to use their killer whale to get more forward, but they're still kind of blocked in this corner here. Some specials are coming out, some bombs coming out from Darkstriders, still pushing them back into their corner. And goodness, Fish is having a lot of trouble breaking out here.
Indeed, that's going to be another 2 down on Darkstriders, but to make that 3 down, Fish going to be going for that checkpoint dunk, but the Crab is going to get them a wipe out there, so they're not going to be able to push too far off of that, but still, getting some points on the board and knock that checkpoint out of the way is going to set them up good for the next 2.5 minutes.
Yes, we see Darkstriders with that Rainmaker here in mid, trying to survive against Fish, and them throwing their bombs. Another killer whale comes out. That brush, it has that Rainmaker's number, able to take them out. Going back to mid here for their team, just painting up, trying to get more picks here. Able to get 2 from this brush. Let's see if there's a third one. Oh, that wall's in the way, but someone was able to get that pick. They're able to push it to 43, giving Fish the lead.
They get the lead, they're able to get the 3 down and still push it for more points. Getting to 17, not a bad push right there. That's certainly going to get them in a nice position to kind of regroup here. And Darkstrider, they're not taking any chance. They're going to be resetting it right there. But the brush there, doing an excellent job of getting 2.5 of those splats right there, really open things up. And just like they capitalize off of Darkstrider's kind of, I'm going to say, impatience, or just rather like that the quick turnaround, like they went so far quickly, but now Darkstriders are the one going to be getting the 2 down.
Oh, goodness.
And they're going to be trying to find the way in, but they're not able to get the lead off of there, and they're going to be taken down.
Ah, goodness. Darkstriders was really trying to make that play there, go quickly, but there was just no one in front of the Rainmaker to keep the paint going. No one there to really help get that lead back, but we see Fish here painting up. They have the Rainmaker on their side. They're not going to let Darkstriders touch it.
And that's what I was trying to say before. Is like Darkstriders, they're really quick on trying to push that Rainmaker forward, but they don't really have the defense or like the manpower to like keep the Rainmaker safe. So Fish just capitalize off of it. And once again, Darkstriders looking to get an open here, but not quite able to get to that lead. But they're going to be popping, they're going to pick it up, and they're going to get the 1-point lead right there.
The 1-point lead! Wow! Alright, we're seeing 16-17 with Darkstriders in the lead right now. Only up by a point, though. Doesn't look like they can get any closer to the Rainmaker right now. We're seeing a pick go down. Let's see if Hype Nova is able to get another pick. That's 2 picks there. A member of Dark Striders trying to go up the ramp. Ooh, but they're going to get caught out.
Getting a nice delayed wipe right there, setting things up for their team. Nick here going to be going with the 52, trying to clean things up as well. Gets 1, gets 2. That's going to be 2 of their Dark Striders down. Now, Fish. 25 seconds left. They just need 1 point, but with how far up that lead is, like, they really have to play safe here. They can't take a chance and push too early because of how Dark Striders is set up right now.
They really have to just play slowly, play safely. And Dark Striders using this crab here, trying to get the Rainmaker, even though all the rest of the members of Fish are surrounding them, keeping them safe. Ooh, we see Jay with the brush trying to go to the right side, trying to get some picks. Ooh, this Rainmaker is really caught out, though. They're moving backwards. They're in mid now. Are they going to be able to get forward quickly enough to retake the lead? We see them going here. Oh, and they get taken down by Dark Striders.
Ah, that was such a close match right there. If the brush had been able to take out the edit right there, they possibly could have gotten it. But the Rainmaker itself, they were down to like 10 or so ticks, so it was down to the wire for them already. So it was gonna be then or there whether they made it.
Goodness, these have all been such close matches here. I feel like that could have gone either way for sure.
Oh yeah, welcome to finals, baby. And it's just like it always swaps around. It's like at one point Dark Striders will have a pretty clear advantage for a little while, but then they'll trip up, or Fish will come at them from the side, and then they'll have a clear advantage for a while. Just like you said, just keeps going back and forth, but it's not stalling out. It's just like flip-flopping to one extreme to another.
16-17 they won this. Just such close matches. Oh my goodness.
And then like neither of those was an easy push to get there. I feel like once you get below 20 on that map, it's really hard just because of how quickly the defense can respawn and get to that point.
All right, next map mode we are going to be seeing tonight is Clam Blitz on Museum de Alfonsino. I love this one for clams. There's a lot of fun you can have right in the middle spinner there, just kind of waiting to get your picks and then pushing up when the enemy least expects it.
And it's funny because this is another map mode that really you don't want to rush too far, just because you're limited on how you can access the basket. You have the one ramp and then the block, but if you push too far, more often than not, there's going to be a defensive player ready to go, so you have to take it when you have it, or you really have to be risky, really just go at it when they're not expecting and just get a teammate behind them.
And I feel like it's so hard to do that on this map specifically because those higher up areas where the enemy can sit, it's just not very accessible to the other team. So trying to defend against it is really hard.
No, yeah, it's like an uphill battle just to get to the objective, and I think with the lowest point being the middle there, it's like it's an inverted Flounder Heights almost. It's just like it's yeah, I think you just said it. It just makes it difficult to break in, especially when you not only are the options limited, but just the enemy's got that high ground to rain fire from above.
All right, I'm excited to see what weapon comps we got going on. We've seen a little bit change ups. We've seen some different comps going up. Is that a Brella I see?
Bringing up the 96, and then going with the undercover umbrella, which is going to have that ink mine and the reef slider.
Okay, I respect it. Let's see how far that goes.
I think that so what they're bringing here, the two things that are the things that you need to be able to be successful on Clam Blitz Museum is you need some sort of way to initiate to break that defense, just kind of get them out of the way. And having a Reslider or a Kraken for that matter, just both of those being invincibility specials can just kind of like rush in and scatter them.
The number of splash walls I just saw thrown out was very silly. All right, we're seeing this brush now on the left. They are on the enemy plat. They are trying to cause a little chaos, throwing a lot of bombs, getting a lot of paint on the ground, waiting desperately for their team to build a power clam. They're trying to get that entrance, but no, they just took a little too long. Looks like Dark Striders has retaken most of their plat now. They are throwing their bombs and their subs, just keeping Fish from getting back onto their plat.
And it was unfortunate because Fish, they used a lot of their special, a lot of the resources just to kind of get into mid and then try to approach their plat. But then once they got there, they didn't have any special to follow up with it. But here comes the Recital, getting one right there, still alive, trying to get another. Going to be 2 down. This could be their opportunity. They just got to get another special online or another splat, just kind of even the odds.
Ooh, we're seeing Ronin here trying to defend their plat against Fish as they come forward up that ramp. Ooh, Hypnova has 7 clams. Will they find another to be able to build a power clam? Looks like they're not really looking. They're just kind of staying back and getting these picks. I wonder why Fish hasn't built a power clam yet.
They have so many clams to their name, but they're just not building that final clam. Like, look here, Arton has the 7. They could potentially get the 1 more, but they haven't locked it down yet. Getting the 24, they are building so many clams. If they're able to get all these in, that's going to be a lot of points on the board.
Looks like the brush player was able to get pretty far into the enemy area, but still no power clam from Fish. They're just holding this area. Now we see 1, 2 are down from Dark Striders, 3 are down from Dark Striders. This is a good opportunity to get that power clam in, but we see the edit here just holding down their plat, trying to get paint on the ground. A Kraken comes in, strikes come in. Ooh, Fish is able to get that power clam into the basket.
And we saw exactly what they needed. That they had the Kraken going in just to scatter them, and then the strikes to kind of clean things up. Getting down to 56, not a bad starting push right there, but they do lose 3 of the members in the process. So Darkstrider is going to be taking some easy paint and mid, some easy space.
Ooh, we see Nikki here on the left. They have 6 clams now. A couple are still down off of Dark Striders, but they're not necessarily pushing up to their plat quite yet. We see a power clam on the side of Fish. Jay is backing up, though. It looks like Dark Striders is getting a little bit more aggressive, getting more paint on the ground, trying to move forward.
It was interesting. I said that they had the opportunity to take the space, but then they lost 2 of the members almost immediately. So Fish just kept a lot of their paint that they had. Speaking of, though, the brush is going to be rushing in. Is the edit going to be able to stop them? They're going to be getting that another power clam in. Not quite able to get through their penalty points. Not really any follow-up either, but still, just the fact that Dark Striders weren't able to stop that in time is going to just kind of give Fish some more opportunities.
Yeah, I think it was just to psych them out. Fish is just making a power move. They're saying, hey, we can still get power clams in your basket. You better watch out.
That's exactly what I'm talking about. It's just like you either push them out of the way or you just get around them fast enough where they can't respond.
And it looks like Galaxy there keeping the enemy off of their plat once more. Just hanging out on that ramp, getting paint down. We see Nikki over on their left side trying to defend against Dark Striders as they push up. We see a crab come out. We see 2 power clams on the side of Dark Striders. They are trying desperately to get onto the enemy plat, but it looks like it's pretty well painted in orange.
So far, it's still been pretty stally. Like right at the beginning of the match, neither team was able to make any moves. But so far, Fish has been like they gained the upper hand once, and they just kind of like hasn't been offset to middle yet. Just kind of fluctuating between them having control and Dark Striders having to back up. And that's going to be another 3 down. 52 going to be trying to get some paint, but they're getting rushed down by the members of Fish. If they get some specials online, they could potentially get another ball in, but with 30 seconds remaining, like they have a lot of space to work with. They don't really need to get too risky here.
Dark Striders is going to have to find some clams here. They do still have their pity clam, I believe, but the rest of the clams to their name, they don't have that many as 2 of their teammates get taken down. Only the Squeezer has the power clam now. They are trying to push up. They are near the enemy ramp, but all 4 members of Fish are up right now as the brush takes out 2 of them. Ooh, they're really on this power clam holder now. They're able to take them out, get the wipe out. Oh, they're waiting for that clam to expire. Goodness.
I think this map really played to the strengths of what Fish had in their comp as of now. That brush got around them. Not a single one of Dark Striders saw them in time, getting the 2 or 3 down, and then just all the Fish converge on that power clam carrier.
Exactly. I felt so bad. They were all alone. They could only get taken out. They had no defense.
But what's interesting, though, I think kind of speaking to how the dynamics of this team went so far, Fish, each of their players were winning a lot of their 1v1s, and just Dark Striders, like they would go in, have a game plan, but just didn't have the numbers to really back it up. And so that kind of gave Fish that advantage. And with a little bit of a chaos that the brush was spreading, just really kept them off kilter the entire time.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just them knowing that Fish was so easily able to get to their basket that it just kept them in that defense mode, not really able to make any plays. That's why they weren't able to get any power clams into the enemy basket.
It was just kind of like a poking play from all directions at once. They just weren't quite expecting.
Yeah, I think it was. We were seeing a lot of clips of Jay on that brush. I think Dark Striders, if they want to be successful here, they're going to have to find an answer to that.
Absolutely. I think, well, see, you got twofold here. Like Makamart, you got the small map that I was talking about before, so it does favor kind of those close engagements, but that really leaves the brush with less room to kind of flank around. You have more. If you're paying attention, of course, there are still opportunities to flank and get sneaky, but there is less wide of a space. It allows the enemy team to kind of narrow their focus so they can cover more of that view in one direction, and they're not having to spin around multiple times just to keep track of that brush.
No, I think you're right. When it's splat zones and they're all focused on one specific area, it doesn't lend really well for that brush to be all around the map. They really just want to keep focused on that one area. And if Dark Striders can take advantage of that here, I think they're going to be successful.
But again, it's like if they lose track of the brush or really any of the members of Fish, like they had a tri-slasher, they had that shot coming in before, just that all of them have been able to be successful in poking at them from sides they're not expecting it. So if they kind of leave that opening for them, they're going to take advantage of it.
I'm wondering if just I'm trying to think of what Dark Striders could do. I feel like they do have a really solid team comp here. It's just I'm not sure they got to learn to adapt, I guess, to the more aggressive play style that Fish is bringing.
Oh, speaking of Fish going to be bringing out that the Big Swig once again. A little bit of a different comp than we saw in that first zones map. We're going to be keeping the 52 here, so going with a double whale and still kind of bringing out the wall and whatnot. But that flings a roller, or sorry, not the flings a roller. The Big Swig is going to be their main source of pain, I think.
As you say, that Dark Striders is able to get this zone first off here, only 20 seconds in. Looks like they've got 3 members down off of Fish right now. Oh, it looks like they're trying to regroup, though. We see Jay trying to paint up, trying to get this killer whale going, and then Nikki on this left side here has their own killer whale at the ready.
This is the first time we're going to be seeing Dark Fighters like really change out their comp pretty strongly. They're going to be swapping to the edit for that cooler here, but they're bringing out the machine instead of running that double wall comp, and they're going to be bringing out the roll that we saw before, so it's really trying to go for that AoE and that aggressive frontline damage. But right now, Fish, they're going to be trying to get an opportunity in, but just can't fight against what Dark Riders are bringing.
Wow, Dark Striders really has this on lock right now. Fish keeps trying to get in. They're trying to be sneaky like they used to be in the other matches, but they're just not finding as much success here. It looks like Dark Striders finally was able to build this wall of defense that Fish just can't break through here.
Wow, just like uncontested zone, bringing it down all the way to the KO. Just between the roller and the machine, they had a lot of that AoE damage for those ledge camping.
Look at the map. Dark Striders went straight to mid and they did not move.
And it's funny because like it's not even that the whole map is painted. You just see that giant blob of purple in the middle, and that's it. Like you said, the focus was on the zone. Both teams were just so focused on the zone. There just wasn't any room to maneuver out of it, and just Fish was too staggered to mount any sort of offensive. Like, look at this. The roller just really keeping that ledge, not letting any of them drop safely.
Wow, I'm just really impressed by the different map modes we've been seeing. Each team seems to have their strengths, and although one team may be able to dominate one certain map mode, it's completely the opposite on the next map mode for the other team. And it's just so interesting how that works out. You would think that all of them would be really close matches considering how close these games have been, but not all of them are like that, clearly.
And I think part of that, Dark Strider has been pretty consistent with their comp. They had some kind of like a game plan that they like running for, one size fits all, but Fish have pulled out some pretty unique choices depending on the map mode. Like we saw the undercover in that last one. We saw the Big Swig whenever they did the zones, and then the 96. Just they keep rotating what they're bringing because they have very specific plans of actions for each map mode, and just some of those plans of actions do well against what Darkstriders has, and some of them don't.
That's what I'm seeing here. Sometimes Fish is able to keep up that aggression, able to be sneaky, and then sometimes when they try it out, they just get picked off right away. It's really dependent on the map and mode, it looks like, not even the specific players and their play style. It's just if the map and mode favors it, then it works out, and if it doesn't, then it doesn't.
I think overall Fish do really well when they have that momentum, but if Darkstriders is able to kind of set up and keep that momentum from building too far, just Fish don't really have an answer to that. So it's like they just need the one opportunity, the kind of the really get things going. But if Darkstriders don't give that to them, then they just kind of are stuck.
That's what it feels like here. And I'm wondering on a tower control map mode, which one that's going to favor. We did already see a tower control, and I believe Fish took that one. So maybe it will be the same here. Who knows?
We're going to have to find out. They're going to be bringing out the vanilla slosher, or the tri-slosher again. So they're going to have the inkjet. And they're still, Darkstrider's still going to be sticking with that roller and that machine, keeping their edit on the cooler. This map is just really long. It doesn't have quite the flank routes that the museum has, but because of how large it is, maybe Fish can find some more openings.
Alright, we're seeing Darkstriders here take a pretty aggressive approach, getting on the enemy bunker there. Nikki backed off into their street, just using that killer whale to keep Darkstriders from getting this tower. There are 2 down from Darkstriders now. They do still have the edit here, though, getting paint on the ground, trying to survive against the enemy strikes.
Edit is still alive, and they're getting members of their team in. Oh, but they're finally going to be sought out, and it's going to be 2 members down. The roller is going to be holding the street right now, but they have so much paint around them, and the toxic mist is going to keep them stuck right now. Fish going to be looking to get the checkpoint here, but they do lose half their team. Roller is going to be trying to push back in, but it's just kind of going to be stalemating with Fish with the overall zone control.
I see a DC here for Darkstriders, but is Fish still playing it out? Nope. Okay, we are going to restart this map mode.
No, yeah, thankfully they were able to catch it in time. I don't think either the time or the points had progressed too far, but it was interesting just to see what they're bringing. I think both teams have kind of found the pattern that they liked, found the kind of the style that they worked well against the other team. But again, I think like you were talking before, just the map mode, having all that space to work with, having kind of more room to go against those 1v1s. Fish had that kind of early advantage there, and even with, or I guess before the player disconnected, they were looking to get something going.
I feel like there's still so many trades back and forth, just kind of just highlighting how evenly matched these teams are, that they're able to trade so often.
And you know, it's like sometimes you get those evenly matched teams and they both play it real safe, and they're just kind of it stalls out. There's not a whole lot of progression going, but these 2 teams, like they're ready to go. Like they're not afraid to get their the little tentacles dirty, and so they really go at it, and you do end up in those trades that you're talking about.
All right, let's see how this goes. Take 2.
Take 2. Here we go. Tower control on Manta Maria. Fish versus the Darkstriders. Now, it was interesting though, but because keeping that roller in the machine though, that really does lend itself well to tower control as a mode, because you have that bubbler, you have the roller of itself, which is really good for fighting whoever is on the tower, and then the machine as well with the buoy bomb and just the AoE damage of the weapon itself does really good picks. But they do struggle again with those kind of open engagements, but it doesn't even, like, the roller went for a flank right there. Tri-Slots are going to be taking 2 members down, and a third going to be taken down by the bomb combo with the whale, and they're just going to be rushing that street.
Wow, Fish is being so aggressive here. They were being just as aggressive in the last game, I feel, but it's paying off for them right now. They are in the enemy street. They're getting that paint on the ground. They are pushing up for themselves. They are at checkpoint 2 right now. We see the inkjet on the right side, continuing to get paint down, continuing to get some picks. That was 2 down off of Darkstriders as Fish gets the second checkpoint.
This is what we were seeing in the Inkbot tower control match as well. Just as soon as the Fish had any sort of advantage, they took the tower and they ran with it. Oh, the bubbler are going to be coming out, keeping that defense alive. 3 members of Fish going down, but they got it to 21 already.
Ooh.
Delayed wipeout, and Dark Strider's going to have to clean up quick here.
All right, we see Ronan here getting paint on the ground, using that bucket to get a little farther forward. Ooh, they're trying to find the members of Fish here, using that fizzy bomb to stop them from dropping down on that right side ledge. We see a lot of purple paint in mid here. They are retaking the tower. 2 are down on the side of Fish, as we see Jay on the right side just getting some more paint on the ground.
Oh, but Dark Striders are going to be going 2 down. The Booyah Bomb was sent to the forward, but 2 came from behind. No one's going to be on the tower there. Checkpoint is going to stay uncontested. Just the remaining members of Dark Stars are going to be backing up, just trying to keep space they have. But I say that the roller is going to be going for them up in their face, going to be getting 2, but the brush is going to be doing likewise. So it's just kind of a little dance between the roller and the brush from either side.
I'm really impressed by how quickly Fish is moving all together as a group. They're able to keep that aggression up with all of them right there. They know each other well enough that they're able to move so quickly like that. We see Dark Striders here in control of the tower now, getting paint on the ground, trying to stop Fish from getting farther forward. We see them in their street though, getting paint on the ground. 2 are down off of Dark Striders. The strikes come out. They are getting more paint down. We see Jay here trying to find some picks in mid.
We had the Dark Striders 52 in the roller there. They had a really good position in that street there. If they were able to keep that, that would have gone a long way for their team. But Fish doing a good job of cleaning up that, able to come back safely and retake their street. And now just kind of like a fight for mid, trying to regain some of that map control. But Dark Striders, they're not backing down easily. They're not giving up their space.
And they are in control of the tower right now, or at least I believe that they had touched it again, but it looks like they are not in control of the tower anymore. The Booyah does come out. We see Ronan here on the tower, but there's still so many members of Fish surrounding them that it's not a safe time to get the tower. As we saw right there, 3 members of Dark Striders went down. There are 3 up for Fish now. They are trying to retake their bunker.
Oh, the Rogue Bomb came in and claimed 2, getting Dark Striders in a 3-down situation. But between the Cooler and the last remaining member, they're able to jump in rather quickly. Even with 3 members down, they're already back. They haven't given up pretty much any map control at all. It's still pretty blue, and Fish is struggling just to get out of their own side of the map right now.
Dark Striders has all 4 members up, pushing the enemy street. Fish looks like they are surrounding it though, using the Killer Whale to try and get some more picks here, but there are specials coming off of Dark Striders too. They are surviving against those splat bombs. We see the edit here on the tower getting the sodas out as their teammates are jumping to the tower.
Ah, they're so close. There isn't any checkpoints keeping them from taking that lead back. Oh, they're going to crap the tower. They are going to take the lead, getting down to the checkpoint. But even so, Fish, they stalled the tower for a second, but then they lost 3 of their members. Dark Stars, they are on a roll right now. If they're able to keep this momentum up, they could potentially keep the KO, but Fish is respawning, and they're looking to just stop them, but it's a bloodbath on tower right now.
Oh, they got it! Goodness, there were so many trades happening right there. Dark Striders just able to keep enough teammates there to continue the tower momentum, getting the knockout off of Fish.
Oh man, I was gonna say earlier that one of the things that really kind of sets the tone for the match is like which team is the one to move first and which one is able to like punish that. You know, we saw Dark Striders really early in the match try to go for the flank and just get punished for it. 2 members of them going down, and that's what gave Fish that early advantage. But I feel like they didn't let that kind of slow them down. Dark Striders, once they stopped Fish from moving forward, they were able to bring it back and just keep up that presence for the rest of that match. Like even with 1 player up, you didn't see any of that purple or that blue just get taken away.
I feel like in that last minute there, we just saw Dark Striders kind of lock in. They were like, okay, this is how we're going to do this. And they just took control of the enemy side of the map. They were able to stay alive. They were able to get those picks. They were able to move all together in the same way that Fish had done earlier. And I think it was a surprise, really, to Fish that they had to survive against that. They didn't know how.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that like that does speak to kind of that advantage that Dark Strider has. You know, Fish, they're really aggressive, they're really mobile, and so they can respond well to each other, but that means that all 4 of them are on the front lines at any given point, so it's less likely for a member to still be alive for them to regroup if they all go down. But Dark Strider, on the other hand, between the edits and maybe their shooter, just they have someone kind of back just enough so they can get to a safe position so they can get those jumps in and just keep the long term momentum continually rolling.
And I think we did see that there with Dark Striders, how they were able to just stay alive enough to keep the tower moving. And it was really good. I'm proud of them. They did well.
And I think this Manta, just the that path through street is just especially tough. And we saw that both teams really struggled at first, but then they just needed just one opportunity, and then they were able to get past it.
Yeah, they learned to fan out a little bit better. They recognized that they had to take more than just the street. They needed someone in front of it. They needed someone on that left side, and they just put the right people there to be able to lob bombs in all the correct places, and it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. But that is gonna, I think, with Darkstriders up to 4, they're on match point right here. So Fish, they gotta win these next 3 matches if they want to take this final set. But Darkstriders, they just need the 1.
All right, I believe Game 7 is what we are on. We're gonna see Rainmaker on Hagglefish Market. Yep, and that is what we are seeing here.
Be interesting because so far, okay, I was gonna say Fish. So far, they haven't had any weapon comps that really would give them that quick pop. But bringing out the rapid and the undercover as well, they might be trying to go for something sneaky right here. I don't know if they have enough DPS right at the beginning to get the initial pop. And yep, there's gonna be Dark Striders with the getting some purple in mid.
Ooh, I'm looking forward to seeing how that undercover umbrella works again. They did so well, I feel, in that other Clams game that it's got to work here. And it does. That's 3 down already on Dark Striders as Fish continues to push up. They are pushing up the enemy ramp as Hype Nova gets the Rainmaker in the pedestal. We see Nikki here with the Killer Whale trying to get the enemy off of the tent there, and they're able to. Goodness, we see it getting popped by Dark Striders here, but they only have 2 members up right now, can't really push it forward, can't really retake mid even. Fish is just being far too aggressive.
There are just so many things I want to talk about right here, but first of all, Fish really filling that kind of gap in their comp that I was talking about before. They brought in that rapid deco to kind of be that anchor, that backline, so they have something to regroup to, so they're not all up in the push too far all at a given point. On top of that, just with the narrowness of this map and having that double whale, just they can put so much pressure on it and still move really quickly even with the backline.
Goodness. All right, the undercover is down. 1 down off of Dark Striders as well, but they do pick up the Rainmaker here. Ooh, it doesn't seem like too safe of a push, but it's safe enough for the member to get the Rainmaker almost in the pedestal. They do get taken out at the last second, though. Ronan here on the left side, getting more paint on the ground. They're trying to survive against this Killer Whale now. Ooh, but they do have Trizukas on their side. Nikki here on the right, getting more paint down, getting that Killer Whale out, taking down 2 members of Dark Striders.
Oh, looking for a third.
And 3!
Rapid is going to get that third, and it's going to be delayed wipe. I was just going to say that the Dark Striders was kind of setting up for what they've been doing in that last match, just taking the space and be able to hold it for a long period of time. But Fish, Rapid Deco really putting in the work. They're not letting them set up like they want to, not like they have been. And so they're looking to kind of flip that script. Next thing they want to do is just be able to find a space to get some more points on the board, and that really is going to come down to having those specials here. But the Crab Tank, they're really going to be coming out as a response here. And oh no, never mind. Even with the Crab Tank, they're going to be bringing it down to the 31.
Yeah, I was wondering how that crab tank was going to work when a lot of the members of Fish were kind of underneath where the crab was. It would be really easy to just hide from it until it ran out, and it looks like that's kind of what they did. They were able to hide behind the different terrain so the crab couldn't get them.
Dark Striders going to be looking for this left side push right here, but unfortunately 2 members go down. Ronan trying to clean up with the pop is going to claim her behind. Just the shot remaining. They do have their Zuka on hand, ready to go, but it's just going to be regrouping from both sides. Fish just looking to let that Rainmaker reset here, but the roller going to be coming from the side. Ooh, they're able to pick that up, but no, it does reset.
Ooh, all 4 members of Dark Striders up here in mid now. 2 are down on Fish, Fish, Fish. The Zuka comes out. Ooh, they're trying to get the picks, and they do. They get 1. They're trying to push up. Ronan here with the Rainmaker trying to get a pick before they push onto the enemy ramp. They do find 1. They push up a little bit more, but they're only able to get it to 32. 32 versus 31.
Still the 1 point off. Oh, but the roller going to be coming in, going to be taken out by the blaster. Oh, but they're all grouped up here. If they can just collapse on Dark Striders, but it looks like they are going to be opting just to push the Rainmaker back a bit. Really just fighting to hold what space they have or not let them take that 1 point.
Dark Striders is trying so hard to just keep the Rainmaker there to stop Fish, Fish, Fish from getting it anywhere away from where they need it. Fish, Fish, Fish using their specials here, getting more paint on the ground with that brush. We see, I believe, Cam here with the Zuka. They get the soda. They're trying to get the picks here, trying to help their teammate get forward with that Rainmaker, but all of the members of Fish, Fish, Fish are still up right now.
Oh my goodness, 2 members of Dark Striders are down. They're going to be looking for this 3rd one right here, but they just finish gaining that little bit of ground right here. All they got to do is either let the Rainmaker reset or drop it to the left side here and keep what paint they got. They really don't need to push too far up. All they got to do is punish Dark Striders, but no, they're going to be losing 2 of their own members, and Dark Striders are going to be in control of the Rainmaker.
Ooh, they've only got 20 seconds left to try and make this push. They do have a bubble protecting them, and they get the lead right here. The last second is 15 to 31. Can Fish, Fish, Fish pop this, pick it up, keep it protected as Dark Striders is up on their ramp. All the bombs are coming out. They do have specials. They have the Killer Whale preventing Dark Striders from getting anywhere close. But, ooh, they are all forming up in mid here. They have sodas. They are ready for any kind of push that Fish, Fish, Fish gives them. We see Jay on the Rainmaker here just slowly pushing forward. They don't have a lot of help from their team though. The rest of the team is pushed so far forward that Ronan here is going to try and get the pick from behind. Ooh, Jay is staying alive though. They are on the right side trying to survive against those Zuka shots. So risky right here. I believe that's Ronan still behind them, able to get the pick. Ooh, they do go down here.
Dark Striders just took that at the best opportunity possible, just not giving Fish any sort of time to make a comeback from that. They just didn't even let up after that. Like as soon as they got that lead, they were able to just all they needed was mid, and Fish they were forced to just kind of go off to the side of it. They were dancing, they were trying to stay alive, but just too much pressure was coming up from Dark Striders.
Wow, those were such close matches, Imad, but there does have to be a winner of Div 9W Finals, and it looks to be Dark Striders.
The GG to Dark Striders, like, it was looking pretty difficult for them at the end there. Like, Fish thought they had kind of the answer to what Dark Striders had, but still, Dark Striders still prevailed in the end, still maintained their cool, and just didn't really let the setback kind of get to them.
They did adapt really well. I think they have to be given credit for that. Fish learned what they needed to do, but I think Dark Striders just picked up on that, and they were able to get those last minute wins.
I was so curious because that undercover bella, like they had the reside, but they were 3 mains of the sub power up, which for that mine, I'm trying to think of what the mines do is like increased sensitivity, also increased point sensorness. They were between the rapid deco and the undercover. They had a lot of subs for keeping an eye on where Dark Striders was, but in the end, Dark Striders was on the front door. There was no need to look for them.
Definitely. Oh, good matches all around, I feel.
Oh, absolutely. A fitting way to end out the Div 9 Liddy season.
Definitely. All right, should we sign off here, or are we throwing it back to the other commentators? Doesn't look like they're here yet, so I guess we are... Okay. Looks like the next match that is coming up is going to be very soon. Div 9A finals between Star Guardians of Chaos and In the Trenches.
Ooh, and that's going to be in the next 10 minutes or so. Next 10 minutes. So not too far away. Short break coming up. But then, of course, we also have some more stuff happening the rest of this weekend. Saturday, we have Division 8W finals and Division A or 8A finals as well. Going to be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern and 8 p.m. Eastern, respectively. And then, of course, we have a whole skew of things happening on Sunday for you.
Wow, look at all those teams I'm in.
So many teams,
So
so
many
much Splatoon.
teams. Gosh, so many teams I don't really know that I should know, and I will know when I watch Ludi tonight this weekend.
So many teams we don't know, but yet so many teams that did so well because this is the
Yeah,
final. So
that's
these are the
true.
teams that literally beat every other team in their set. So
They're the
kudos to
literal
them.
best of the best. That's
The
why you
best
should
of
be
the
watching.
best. Oh, absolutely. So tune in if you can. And yeah, it's going to be pretty epic. All right. But yes, but we're going to be wrapping up here. We're going to be handing off to our next set of commentators. So in the meantime, Six, where can where are the places?
None.
Plugs?
No, nowhere.
None.
There are no places.
There are no places. We're in the void.
But they can find you. I know where they can find you. They
Where
can find
they
you
find me?
on Twitter and YouTube. You should make a TikTok so I can also tell them that you're on TikTok. And
I
find
never
them
have a
on
TikTok.
Facebook.
I just haven't TikToked.
Find them at your local grocery store. Find them on Google Maps. Pinpoint his IP address.
I will be in the grocery store in the dairy aisle getting more milk.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
But in the meantime, we are going to be handing off to our next set because we have more Splatoon coming in not too long. So stay tuned and stay hydrated, and we'll be right back.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the later half of this doubleheader of Splatoon tonight. My name is Rocket, here joined with Virus. How are you doing today, Virus?
I am doing excellent. Thank you for asking. And we have an insane Div 9A finals. Yeah, Div 9A finals coming at you within the trenches versus Star Guardians of Chaos. Both of these teams have climbed through the Div 9A bracket, and now they're about to face each other to see who will be crowned the champions of Div 9A here on Ludi tonight. Right here,
Yeah.
if we do look at the bracket in the trenches and Star Guardians of Chaos, both had fairly dominant runs. Only close game that we've seen was in round one or round one within the trenches going up against Sea Stormers. They barely clawed out of that, winning 5-4, and now they're up against Star Guardians of the Chaos, who have only dropped 3 games so far. So other than the semifinals match or the round 1 match, both of these teams have very convincingly won their games. So in my opinion, it's probably going to be very back and forth.
Yeah, 100%. Both these teams have been able to go through all the weeks and been able to win dominantly pretty well, like you've said so far. As we take a quick look at the first game map mode, it's going to be Umami Ruins on Splat Zones. Do you have any opinions on this map mode, Virus? Because me personally, I like this map mode a lot.
100%. I like this map mode a lot, actually. There's just at least for me, there's just something about how I think it's like, I don't even know why I like this map. This map mode in particular. I think it's just mainly due to just how the middle of the map is laid out for the zones and how there's like so many ways you could play around mid in this map. Of course, once you get past mid, it's kind of bad. But other than that, like, I feel like mid in this stage is on this particular map mode, it's not bad. It's actually really good in my opinion. I enjoy playing this map mode whenever it comes in rotation. So, and I just as much enjoy watching this map mode being played. So yeah, I cannot wait to see what these two teams are gonna go in terms of strategy here, as we are gonna get into our game 1 of this Div 9A finals. Both of these teams are gonna roll out. We're gonna see what comps that each team is gonna run. Star Guardians of the Chaos does seem like they're running. It does seem like that both teams are running very traditional comps. We do see the Inkling Stringer on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos, which is not something that you necessarily see every day. A lot, and they are playing that alongside the heavy edit. So a lot of ranged poking coming from Star Guardians of the Chaos with that range blaster as another midline on them. And meanwhile, what's his name again? I forgot. And meanwhile, in the trenches, yes, my bad. Apologies. Meanwhile, in the trenches, also opting to run double midline as well. So both teams are opting for double midline. Only difference is that one team has a dedicated backline, while the other does not. So we are going to see how this game is going to roll out. Right now, Star Guardians of the Chaos is going to end up going 3 down, and in the trenches, this is going to take the early advantage in mid, looking to set up that range blaster on the bottom left side of the map to try to poke the enemy snipe, and just apply as much pressure as they possibly can. Right now, we do see the Kraken coming in from Julius, trying to create some space with that Zuka as well. Trauma barely survives that Zuka shot, but not before getting taken down by the Kraken. And right now, it does seem like the Star Guardians of the Chaos is gonna get a really successful retake, and it is now their turn to have a setup of their own.
Yeah, and with Toxic, with the Zuka out, trying to create space, managing to have 2 members of Star Guardians of Chaos going down, this could potentially lead for an opportunity for In the Trenches to get in. However, Toxic does go down there, and it will actually be Star Guardians of Chaos still managing to maintain control. Kraken pops to try to stop the lead change. However, the lead change will go in favor of Star Guardians of Chaos as they try to regroup here. They still managed to hold on to at least one side of the zone. However, with 3 members down in the trenches now are able to retake both zones and are now able to set up defensive positions. Rapid Robbie, the captain of this team, on the edit there, just being able to maintain all the pressure and just create so much space for the rest of their team. However, with 2 members going down, it's going to be really interesting to see if In the Trenches can still hold on to this.
The trenches is still kind of maintaining control of their side of the map. However, Star Guardians Chaos is able to retake mid really quickly, and now In the Trenches is back on the back foot, but not before Zuka by Toxic coming out is able to get one. This is going to be an opening that In the Trenches could look for, but considering the fact that Star Guardians of the Chaos are cooler, they are going to come back fast and try to retake by themselves. However, 2 go down again on the side of In the Trenches before the Kraken gets traded out, and right now is a little bit of a switch up. Right now is 2 down on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos. Now In the Trenches has successfully retook mid, and with this grab getting popped, they're looking to try to take some space forward really aggressively. And this range blaster on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos, it does get called out in the midst of all the chaos going on, and it does get taken down. And with a bunch of trades going on between both teams, it does seem like that In the Trenches is going to just maintain control of mid for the next couple of ticks on the timer. Right now, they do have the numbers disadvantage, so it does seem like the Star Guardians Chaos could bring it back. However, Okizama, with the double on the range blaster, is able to get 2 key picks in order to maintain the middle, in order to maintain zone. And with Star Guardians Chaos completely staggered, they don't really have much resources in order to get back at the zone. They have to dive there with as much as they have, and that's gonna be good for Star Guardians of the Chaos to retake zone. They're somehow able to retake zone there, and now they have a second win going into this to the rest of this game. However, it's not looking really pretty for them, considering that In the Trenches still has complete control of the game so far. They still have the lead, and with the control of the zone again, with 2 down on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos, it does know that they're going to push their man advantage and their this advantage in general a lot more further.
Yeah, and with only a minute left, Star Guardians of Chaos needs to get a comeback going as they're being pushed all the way back to their side. Toxic managing to find a pick onto that range blaster, just trying to stay alive, however, does fall. The end zap for In the Trenches does end up falling as well. With the penalty points nearing the end for In the Trenches, this Zuka is just pulled out just to try to stop the cap, try to put some pressure onto In the Trenches. They do manage to take a zone, however, both zones need to be captured here. But Star Guardians of Chaos losing member after member after member as it's just the range blaster left with the Kraken just trying desperately to create space. With 30 seconds left, Star Guardians of Chaos need to get a push in, just the Tri-Slinger as well, trying to get a Rapid Robbie here, though, on the edit, has Crab available to try to deter anything, and with 20 seconds down, it is still pretty contested here between both these teams.
Star Guardians of the Chaos was just throwing everything they had to zone, and while they were able to flip, it's not really what they wanted to have, as In the Trenches was able to take it back really quickly. And now with 10 seconds left, with 1 downside In the Trenches, this could be the opening that Star Guardians of the Chaos could look for. But right now with Toxic pushed up on this machine, it looks like that this is not going to happen. 3 down outside of Guardians of the Chaos, and In the Trenches is able to take the first game in a very convincing fashion near the end. Now, this entire game was extremely close for around the first 3 minutes of the game. Both teams were just at the 50-point mark, just trying to squeeze out as much points as they possibly could before the enemy team was able to retake. But In the Trenches was just able to get a really nice hold near the end, and were able to secure this first game in a really convincing fashion in the last 3 minutes. So really well played on their part.
Yeah, just the ability for In the Trenches to hold so well, especially with their given comp, as we see some replays of how well they were able to hold off, right there, 3 members of Star Guardians of Chaos go down, and that was just off of the back of great teamwork, and as well as the comp that they are running, as they're running the alternate version of the heavy edit with Crab there, being able to poke away and just keep members of Star Guardian of Chaos away as well, especially with that, that Neo sloshing machine as well with Zuka. Just all that poking ability that was strong on their side was able to deter Star Guardians of Chaos's backline, running double backline with the bow and arrow plus the edit. But as we look at Game 2, Inkblot Art Academy, do you have any thoughts on this map mode, Virus? Because me personally, as a blaster player, I love to see any tower control map.
see this map mode basically in any all modes format. If there's an all modes like tournament, regardless of the level, you will see this map mode, whether it's counter picks, set map list, whatever you want to call it. You will see this map mode. You cannot escape it. Like you just cannot escape this map mode. With that being said, however, I actually enjoy playing this map mode quite a bit, although it can get boring at times, considering that again this map mode does get played a lot of times in comp. And like a lot of people are generally not that surprised whenever this map mode comes up in a counter pick, because again it's just like a really balanced map for both sides, and it's a really straightforward way to like play the game. You just only really have to worry about one particular location when pushing forward with the tower, which is the bats, and that's really it. Pretty simple map to understand, and it's also one of the better maps in this game as well, which is why this map mode gets picked a lot in an almost format. So yeah, I am like, and also considering the fact that both teams have like good AoE on their comp, like we have seen that both teams do have a range buster, and I believe it is in the trenches with the machine, with Toxic running that machine if I'm not mistaken. A lot of strong AoE on both sides. Also the Stringer on Guardians of the Chaos. We cannot forget that. We cannot forget that. A lot of strong AoE on both sides, and this map really favors area of effect weapons. And considering that tower control favors area of effect weapons as well, this could be a good game for both teams.
Yeah, and as we move into game 2 here, we'll see if there's any comp changes, because I'm not sure if the double backline will play much of a factor in it. We do, in fact, see a comp change on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, electing to only stick with the Tri-Stringer as the backline with that Splattershot Jr. as the bubble. I'd love to see it on tower control, but interestingly enough, there's also a Dapple Dualies on that side. Reef Slider not really used as much on tower control, as yes, you can create some space with it, but obviously you're not able to create space near the tower as effectively, as it's obviously an elevated platform. However, as we see through the initial teamfight scrum, Star Guardians of Chaos are able to strike first blood, just trying to poke away at this first checkpoint. The Dapples on their side do manage to fall, but no worries for in the trenches here, as that Crab gets a beautiful pick onto the Junior, managing to get an assist on that shot as well, and off of the back of that pop, as well as Cooler in the trenches being able to push back and defend well.
Yes, so Star Guardians of the Chaos just completely diverted their strategy, going from just double midline coordinated fighting to just running down the opposition 24/7 with the Junior to help support in terms of paint. And while it was working at the beginning, this comp does seem to struggle a lot with getting locked out. They only really have one special in order to retake space with. However, Penny on this flank with the Dapples is probably going to accomplish a lot here. I don't think that they know that Penny is back there. They're not able to get a pick, but they did get a Reef Slider behind them, and the Reef Slider is able to get two, or the Reef Slider gets one with the help of the chip from the Stringer. And with that, it seemed like in the Star Guardians of the Chaos was gonna retake the tower, but no. In the trenches was just able to maintain control of the tower for just a little bit longer, and Toxic unfortunately falls off the map. And that's going to be huge for Star Guardians of the Chaos, as they're going to be able to really quickly retake mid and really quickly repaint the map in their color to try to get a push of their own, as they get a stagger kill on the heavy edit as well. And right now, Star Guardians of the Chaos is moving up extremely aggressively. We see the team get a really good trade on, I believe that was the machine. And now Star Guardians of the Chaos, with that bubble on tower, with the Stringer set up on tower, is going to be able to push up to the first checkpoint and try to take lead with 2 going down, 3 going down on the side of in the trenches. It does seem like that is going to happen. Toxic is going to go down as well, and that's a staggered wipe on the side of in the trenches. And now Star Guardians of Chaos is looking to try to clear the checkpoint, to try to re-clear lead. And with that bubble on tower, it does seem like that lead is going to be secured, and it is, with 2 down on the side of in the trenches. Star Guardians of Chaos is looking to squeeze out as much points as they can before the Junior goes down. And even though the Star Guardians of Chaos do lose a tower, that was a really good try on taking the lead, and they were able to do that really effectively.
Yeah, a beautiful push there from Star Guardians of Chaos. This comp change seems to be working well for them, however. They cannot put their foot off of the gas as it is 2 minutes 10 left. There's still plenty of time for In the Trenches to come back from this Toxic, popping the Zuka with Cooler available as well. No, the Cooler gets broken by the tower. That is unfortunate. So no Cooler online for them, however. They still managed to at least get numbers advantage here. Just trying to get space here. This Range Blaster just trying to push forward and give jumps for their team to regroup with a minute 45 left onto In the Trenches push here. The Junior having the bubble available for their push. Not sure if they're going to use it here. They might use it defensively. However, no, they will not be able to pop it in time. Toxic with that Zuka being able to pop it well and being able to get that pick. 2 specials online for In the Trench, and we see here this T-Tex is trying to create space, trying to be a thorn in the backside of In the Trenches. However, the edit spots it and just keeps them away. This Kraken just continuing to create space as well, and it is still a scrum for the tower here as both teams not really managing to find a stance on it. However, Star Guardians of Chaos managing to pick off members of In the Trenches one by one, and with a minute left, Star Guardians of Chaos definitely in the driver's seat now.
These constant flanks on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos just constantly being a thorn in the side of In the Trenches, and these flanks are just helping Star Guardians of Chaos just retake the tower and stop In the Trenches from getting any more points. And now with 50 seconds left on the clock, Star Guardians of Chaos needs to just hold the tower for that much time, and they will secure the game win. However, In the Trenches does have control of the tower, and they were able to get 2 down on Star Guardians of Chaos a little bit earlier. But with 2 down on the side of In the Trenches, it does seem like that Star Guardians of Chaos is going to try to regain footing here. Toxic does get a pick on the Dapples. However, they're just getting zoned out. They cannot really find anything to go for, and that's going to result in a trade between them and the T-Tech. Now 18 seconds left. Star Guardians of Chaos has to hold the tower. In the Trenches has to make a move here. They are pushing the tower to the left to the checkpoint, and they do have the Kraken ready, but the Stringer is going to take them down. And with the edit going down, it does seem like that Star Guardians of Chaos is going to take this game too, and they do. Star Guardians of Chaos, with a little bit of a sloppy opening game, was able to run it back and was able to completely dominate the last half of the game.
Yeah, their more aggressive comp really surprised me here, as running Tri-Stringer as your backline doesn't normally work, especially if you have 3 frontline little fist bump there as well. 3 frontline weapons generally, without running a blaster on this as well. Really surprising that they took that, as they just had In the Trenches number the entire time. Like you said, a wonderful response to their lackluster performance in game 1, but being able to even things up with In the Trenches, just really well done. We see the use of the Kraken here just trying to keep members of Star Guardians of Chaos away. However, that it was Star Guardians of Chaos's own special usage with Bubble, with the Reef Slider, with Triple Ink Strike that kept them in the game and what's ultimately tied up the series here in the 9A finals.
Yes, Star Guardians of the Chaos, while their comp did seem a little bit unconventional, it did work because they were just able to outpace In the Trenches completely. They didn't have to worry, even though no cooler in any level is kind of risky. In the Trenches did not have to worry about slowing down their pushes in order to wait for their cooler to come online. All they had to worry about was whether or not they had their members alive, and if they do, they're just going to run in and fight you. And that's exactly what happened with the constant amount of specials, the constant amount of bubbles that were able to provide body for these team fights on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos, and it was just too much for In the Trenches to handle, considering that a lot of their weapons are not really that strong when fighting close range. That was a really good call on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos to go for that for that colorless triple frontline strategy to just run them down, or double frontline support to just run them down. And now we are going to go into our game 3, which is going to be on Robo Ramen Rainmaker. I like Robo Ramen. I don't know about you, Rocket, but Robo Ramen was like one of my favorite maps. However, I just think Rainmaker absolutely sucks on it. But what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, 100%. I love this map as well. Normally you see spot zones on this map, but Rainmaker is always a nice addition to it as well. It's going to be interesting to see what these teams run, as we've already seen Star Guardians of Chaos have been shown to be pretty flexible in their weapon choices, as basically 3 of the 4 members switched there, but in the trenches sticking with their same lineup. I'm wondering if there's going to be a weapon switch again on this. We have seen, and I have seen personally, some different weapons here that you might not normally see work, but they do here, especially like, for example, a Tenebrella here being a giant shield for their Zuka, their the Neon Splashomat, the sloshing machine, and definitely something to keep in mind and aware of is that Dapple Dualies with the Reef Slider. I wonder if they're going to bring it out here to maybe just create space to create an entrance for any push for Star Guardians of Chaos, but that remains to be seen, as Star Guardians of Chaos here just proving that you don't have to stick with the meta weapons at all. Like we mentioned earlier, they ran no cooler throughout the entire thing and still managed to win pretty well there, so I just love to see the introduction of new weapons in this.
Yes, 100%. And this is like my line of thought in terms of just meta, and that is just if you are low level, meta does not matter necessarily. In my opinion, what matters a lot in low level in terms of weapon picks is whether or not you're like very comfortable with the weapon, because you can have like the most perfect comp in any particular meta in this game, but if you're not comfortable on any of the weapons that you're playing, is the comp really going to work necessarily? And so Star Guardians of the Chaos did seem like they were just like really comfortable on those weapons, even though they were more off meta picks with the Stringer and the Dapple's Nouveau. But considering that they were like more comfortable with it and they understood how the comp plays, that does the team comp on its own does not really matter, because if it's whether or not how good the comp is. All that matters is, are you good and are comfortable with the weapons that you're playing? And if you are, then you're set and done. And right now we are going to go into this game 3. We do see the Dapples being stuck on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos, but we also see the Wellstring coming out on Guardians of Chaos as well, which to me is not a surprising pick. This weapon shreds the Rainmaker shield like crazy, and that combined with the edit and the Dapples, it just seems like that they're going to win every single pop like they did right there. They just win the pop with their superior DPS, and now they just have the middle of the map painted for free, but not without in the trenches getting too close to the ground to try to make the space happen with themselves. And speaking of in the trenches, we see Dreadringer on the side of in the trenches, which is gonna get 2 picks with the Reef Slider, and they're gonna run forward at the checkpoint, but not without the stamp on the side of Star Guardians of the Chaos. Seraph just with that stamp throw was able to shut down that push by taking care of that Dreadringer, and now Guardians of the Chaos is in a crazy twist of fate going to run it right back, and now they're on the front foot immediately after.
Yeah, that really well placed Reef Slider from the Dredge there. However, like we just saw, a beautiful counter by the Stamp to just snipe that Rainmaker carrier. Toxic with the Dreadringer you were mentioning earlier, just up there creating space for their team. However, the Rainmaker is not being collected yet. That will now be. This CRB having Kraken online, potentially using it now to create space for their Rainmaker carrier, just trying to get on there. However, Felix with the triple ink strike to deny it as well. Toxic managing to find a pick there onto the edit, trying to get back to his their Rainmaker carrier, just trying to defend them, trying to defend Felix on this backstab. Felix does end up going down, and with that, both teams have now captured the first checkpoint. 3 members of In the Trenches, however, do fall, and now Star Guardians of Chaos now have an opportunity to turn the tide and continue to grow their lead.
Yes, In the Trenches was able to get a really good push onto the first checkpoint themselves, but Star Guardians of the Chaos was able to put a really nice stop to that, and now Seraph on this flank is just going to try to get as much points as they possibly can, and they were able to bring the counter all the way down to 34 before their team goes 2 down, and now Star Guardians of the Chaos is at a fairly comfortable lead. I lied. No lead is comfortable on Rainmaker. It's Rainmaker. Anything can happen, especially on this map, as leads could switch very quickly on this map, as this crab tank is able to basically secure mid on for In the Trenches to try to retake the middle of the map. However, Felix on this Dapples is on this bottom stretch of the map trying to take attention. People are turning to him, and Toxic does drop down on the Dapples. No, that was not the Dapples actually. That was the T-Tech. Everyone's on the flank right now. Actually, I don't know where anyone on the enemy team is. However, Penny is able to, with that Reef Slider, is able to take care of the Rainmaker. That's going to buy a lot of time for Guardians of the Chaos. However, this Kraken is going to be able to create a quick pop for the Rainmaker, but not before Felix on this flank just trying to make something happen. They unfortunately are going to feed it right into them, but not before 2 go down on the side of in the trenches. And now Guardians of Chaos, with their numbers advantage, are probably going to attempt to move forward, but this crab is gonna start lost, facing the front, and the crab is actually gonna take care of the enemy edit as well. And with 2 down on the side of in the Guardians of the Chaos, I was like half paying attention. What happened? Like 3 people on the trenches ended up going down, and now Star Guardians of Chaos, with their massive man advantage, is gonna try to move the Rainmaker all the way to the goal. However, Toxic is just gonna be able to clear that really quickly. I have no idea what happened. It just seemed like I blinked once and everyone just died. I have no idea what happened.
I'm pretty sure it was a really well placed Ultra Stamp throw there that managed to take down 2 or maybe even 3 members of In the Trenches there, just coming in from the sky and deleting all those members there. And off the back of that, Star Guardians of Chaos try to push in, however, In the Trenches not giving up any ground at all with a quick wipeout. However, with time running down, they only have a minute to get a push going. As we have seen, they've been able to get to this midpoint really well. However, getting past it is a different story. Toxic, they're fighting on the right side, trying to divert some of the attention away from their Rainmaker. Rapid Bobby, the commander, the captain of this team, leading the way, but another Ultra Stamp snipe ends that push right in its tracks. This Wellstring on Star Guardians of Chaos still managing to just be a giant thorn. However, they might not be enough, as In the Trenches managed to get a last-second wipeout right there to take Game 3 under their noses. The Stamp and none of Star Guardians of Chaos unable to stop it in the nick of time. What a come-from-behind victory there from In the Trenches.
I feel like Ultra Stamp and Reef Slider got a buff just for this game in particular, because what was going on with these Stamp throws and Reef Sliders? At the beginning, we just see a bunch of Stamp throws just getting a whole bunch of value. Apparently, 1 Stamp throw on this side of Guardians of Chaos just getting 3. And in a crazy turn of events, the Reef Slider on the side of In the Trenches was able to just like win them the game as well. And also, as you saw from that replay, was also able to put a bunch of stops to the Rainmaker as well on the sides of both teams. And these Reef Sliders and Ultra Stamps in this game were just doing a lot for both of these teams, but In the Trenches was just able to put much better use to these Reef Sliders. One which was able to get them all the way down to 70 before, again, the Ultra Stamp just stole that checkpoint away from them. That's besides the point. And the Reef Slider at the end was just able to just secure the game win for them. But either way, really good special usage on each of these teams. All the specials on each member, especially the Reef Sliders and Ultra Stamps, are just able to get a lot of value. And
yeah,
right
we
now,
just saw that right there. We saw it right there. What you missed earlier, the Ultra Stamp hitting, I think, the bubble of the Rainmaker and managing to find 2 victims with that as well. Massive props to that Wellstring there. Oh my goodness, they're just yeeting the freaking Ultra Stamp and managing to find these beautiful shots. But like you mentioned, yeah, that was just a battle of the specials there, and In the Trenches just able to get the edge off of Star Guardians of Chaos. But despite that last second victory, Star Guardians of Chaos put up a valiant effort, and we are in for quite a series here. These teams evenly matched, Virus.
Yes, these teams are just neck and neck, word for word, bar for bar with each other. And right now, I 100% expected this clash between these 2 teams to just continue going into this next game, which is going to be on Clamblitz Museum. And Clamblitz Museum is by far one of my favorite map modes. I don't know about you, Rocket, but for me, I love this map mode a lot.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting map for Clamblitz because the goal is set so far behind on the team's basis, so it's really hard to get a push going without the use of specials. Normally we see the use of triple ink strike to initiate a push, but we have seen what happened there on Robo Ramen. It is all about the Reef Sliders for both of these teams to create space, so it's definitely interesting to see how this will go down.
Yes, 100%. If a Reef Slider decides to set somehow, I will not be surprised. Like if we see like a set winning Reef Slider in the later game in this set, that will be hype, and also will probably be really disappointing for one of these teams to just lose a set to a restarter. It's like losing a set to a Zuka, but even worse because you know that if I don't even know. It just feels bad regardless to just lose a set to just like the special just killing everyone. But either way, we are gonna get into our next game on Clambless Museum. It's the same comp as the tower game from Star Guardians of Chaos. However, this time instead of the T-Tech, we are opting to run the shot. So we are running Zook. We do have our Zuka option on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, and meanwhile, in the trenches, just running the same comp that they have been running. Toxic did try to go for an early flank on this right side. However, they did get taken down early, but not before the dapples on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos getting traded out. And now with 3-3 on each side, it does seem like that we do have a little bit of a stalemate in mid. The cooler on the side of in the trenches is ready, so once that gets popped, it could lead to a big snowball on them. But two people end up going down before the cooler gets grabbed, and now that results in Star Guardians of Chaos giving them an opportunity to try to push in. However, they go 2 down as well. And now with in the trenches now officially cooler, they are going to try to just make some space of their own. Jules is just moving forward, just trying to create space. They were just basically behind the enemy lines, and they were able to get a pick in the process. Toxic is in a very peculiar spot. It ends up going down, and this Reef Slider is going to create a lot of space. It doesn't get any picks, but it doesn't enable Penny to move forward on these apple deliveries. They do get one. They get the edit, and now with the bubble set up, this is going to lead to a whole lot of clams being scored on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. They do have the clam economy for this. It all just matters on whether or not they're able to get the clams in, and it does seem like that they are able to get down to a very early score of 35, and that is a really good score to start off with if you are Star Guardians of Chaos.
Yeah, Star Guardians of Chaos choosing to go with the lineup that worked well on tower control and saying, hey, we did well with this comp, why not run it back? And with that initial push, it may proven to be right. I'm just going to nickname this the Death lineup because look at the aggressiveness from these weapons. As you mentioned, the Dapple Doolies were able to go in. However, in the trenches are now able to maintain control of mid. Not really too many clams in their possession, as Star Guardians of Chaos have 2 specials that they have used available. However, Toxic manages to sneak behind and sneak a pop behind as well. We will be seen if the rest of the members of In the Trenches can follow up. A couple of clams managing to go in, however, nothing else to be found. Managing to sneak by, a good chip at the lead, however, another push has to be made to do that. A good pick there from Toxic onto that shot. Toxic just being the true catalyst to In the Trenches' push. On mid, they're just keeping members of Star Guardians of Chaos away. The bubble available for this junior. And despite being pushed back into their base, look at the clam economy for Star Guardians of Chaos. They have 2 balls available for them and so many clams.
Yes, Star Guardians of Chaos just much more better just like managing their clam economy. As you can see, they have just a bunch of clams to their favor, but with all those power clams, it also means that it's much more harder for you to move forward as you're just constantly marked on the map if you do have a hold of the power clams. And that is going to result in the trenches just pushing back Star Guardians of Chaos, and they are going to get another score of their own. But with In the Trenches just getting these constant influx of scores, they don't really have the clam economy to just continue to push further, even though it seemed like that they were able to get a lot of space. And that is going to result in, oh wait, we have a power clam jump coming in from Star Guardians of Chaos. That's what I was saying, finishing the sentence, that it's going to bring the score down by 10. But considering that they did get wiped out, we don't know if that's completely worth it or not. We're going to see how In the Trenches is going to play around that. But still, that's a really good power clam jump on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. Just literally just like took away from I literally forgot what I was going to say like before that actually happened, and now we're back on even footing, more or less, or not really even footing, but like we're back on just both teams like making a fight for mid right now. In the Trenches does have complete control of mid. However, this shot flank is gonna try to make something happen. They do unfortunately go down, and now with this crab popping AoE shots on Chaos's plat, it does seem like that In the Trenches is gonna take control of space more forward. However, this bubble on the side of Jules is just gonna be able to just prevent them from moving forward. And with those bombs, and with all those bombs coming out inside of Jules, they're just able to retake their plat, and they're probably going to get a little bit more with the shot trying to push up to try to get a kill or a potential trade. Does not really happen, but with 30 seconds left, Star Guardians of Chaos just need to stall as much time as possible, but this Zuka is able to take care of the Junior, but not without the range going down. And this Restarter is just doing some crowd control on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. However, three do go down on the side of In the Trenches, and it does seem like that Star Guardians of Chaos will potentially take this game, but In the Trenches still has that power cam to try to take back the lead. And with one down on Star Guardians of Chaos, this lead switch is more than possible for In the Trenches.
Yeah, and with overtime approaching us, we only have so much time left for In the Trenches to push in. The Kraken being pushed. This is a last-second push. This ball needs to make its way into the goal, and fast as time is running out. It will find its mark, however. There needs to be follow-up. There needs to be that ball settle up from Rapid Robbie. It will be just short.
No!
Not quite enough to being able to chip the lead. That ball was so close, and if it was just a fraction of a second more, In the Trenches would have stolen that lead away. However, Star Guardians of Chaos winning with a hair, by a hair. If that edit made it any closer, we would be looking at a different situation, but this series has been back and forward, back and forward. Star Guardians of Chaos evening it up 2-2.
In the Trenches was just a couple of pixels away from just getting the lead back, and now we are now 2-2 in the series between Star Guardians of Chaos and In the Trenches. That was a really back and forth game between two teams. Star Guardians of Chaos was able to dominate for more of that game. However, In the Trenches did make a really good attempt at bringing it back, and they almost were able to do it. However, that power clam was just not close enough in order to make it into the basket. And now Star Guardians of Chaos was in a very fortunate fashion for them. I already know that they're just extremely happy in they were definitely extremely happy in that VC that the power clam missed. And now In the Trenches, or Star Guardians of Chaos has tapped the series 2-2, as we are going to go into our next map being SplatoonTourney's Mecca.
Yeah, and off of that victory, I think Star Guardians of Chaos realized that this lineup, this comp works so well, this def comp, that they've won 2 games off of, and I'm definitely interested to see if they'll stick with it, because it has proven to be a really powerful way for them to just play super aggressively, super fighty type style that we've seen works well in this type of setting, in this competitive scene. And if you're in the trenches, you have to be feeling it right now. You were so close. Just a little bit more would have won you that game. Maybe one more fight would have gone your way. However, this is not to say they haven't done well at all. They have done really well in matching that fight up until the very end there. So maybe if a little luck goes their way, a little bit more of just recollecting themselves, we could be looking at a different series. But yeah, both of these teams just taking blow for blow back at each other.
Yes, 100%. And if you're in the trenches, you just desperately need a Meta reset right here. Like that it was like a very devastating like turn of events that could have happened. But at the end of the day, you just need to just have that mental reset and just like focus on the next game, which is exactly what they're going to do right here. We are going to get into this next game on Zones Mecca, and we are going to see what comps that there's going to be rolled out. I don't expect In the Trenches to switch off of any of their comps that they do have, considering that their weapons are extremely strong on this particular map. And nope, nothing changed. Actually, no, we do have a change. We do see the Neo Splash coming out on the side of Trauma on In the Trenches, as well as switching off of the crab edit to the normal edit. So we're back on the cooler, and we do have the strikes for the extra paint on the zone. Meanwhile, Star Guardians of Chaos is going to go back to the T-Tech just for the strikes on the zone, but they are going to stick to their core of their comp, which is just to run at them and don't stop until they kill us, I guess.
Yeah, they're sticking with that def lineup as I was talking about. It seems like, okay, we know this works against this team. Let's keep running it. Penny there managing to find a good pick with the Reef Slider. And with that kill onto the edit at the top there, it will be a delayed wipeout for Star Guardians of Chaos, who take a very early lead and commandingly team win, as well as time ticks down onto the points of Star Guardians of Chaos here. The Zuka trying to find a target, managing to find one onto the Splattershot Jr. there, managing to take the score down to 58. Star Guardians of Chaos losing a little bit of control of the zone, and it will be a flip for In the Trenches as they now take control of most of the zone here, still managing to paint a little bit of it. This Tri-Stringer just has to run as they are pushed out, trying to support their team from the back. Penny on this Dooley's just trying to be a distraction, trying to at least be a part of this fight, as actually in the background, Star Guardians of Chaos managed to flip the zone. The triple ink strikes go out to switch it back real fast, and I think it will be a battle between both of these shots here, Virus, just trading back and forth between the triple ink strikes.
Yes, 100%. And something else I do want to mention is that Star Guardians of Chaos has a lot of cheese on their end. They have this, they have the restart to look to insta-cap zone. They have the Strix to just pin zone, and they also have the bubble, which is gonna get popped right now to try to just make it easier for the team to contest zone, like as what happened right there. While Guardians of Chaos did have the numbers disadvantage, that bubble was just able to do a lot for them to get back in and be able to paint the zone. And now Star Guardians of Chaos is able to get the recap on zone, and now they're on the front foot. Right now, the Junior is close once again to another bubble of theirs. They can try to use that to try to like counter any advances that In the Trenches is gonna make. They're already at zone, however the two go down on the side of In the Trenches, and now with really good trades on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, this bubble is gonna get popped to try to like maintain control of the zone and prevent anyone from moving forward, and the bomb is gonna get the pick on Trauma on the side of Julius. And now Julius in this bubble is just taking a lot of resources, taking the timer all the way down to around 15. But however, two go down on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, which does open up an opportunity for In the Trenches to try to recap zone. And they do. They were able to recap zone, and their penalty is gonna go down really soon, which means that they are gonna start ticking down the scores even more. However, the strikes, the Neo Splash does go down, so the strikes are officially offline on the side of In the Trenches. And that also enables Star Guardians of Chaos to move in without any displacement specialists trying to force them out. And right now, it's just a huge skirmish in mid. Slight disadvantage on the Guardians of Chaos, however, they are able to try to maintain zone, but not without the Okizama on the range blaster just diving right on the stack of Guardians of Chaos, taking care of the Stringer, and now In the Trenches officially has the lockout scenario that they do want with these strikes, and with all the specials that are about to come online really soon. This is going to be really difficult for Guardians of the Chaos to try to make a move back into zone here.
Yeah, and In the Trenches are now keyly out of their penalty points. However, the cheese you were talking about is deployed, and with 3 members of In the Trenches losing their life there, with the combination of the Reef Slider, with the combination of the triple ink strike in there at the same time, just the power of it too much. But a good pick on to that Dapple Doolies by Toxic there, being able to get triple Zuka, I mean, online, however, not finding too much value. Triple Ink Strike is available though, and it will go out, trying to flip the zone, trying to prevent Star Guardians of Chaos from closing this out. However, the firepower of them may prove to be too much, as with 2 members down, it looks like Star Guardians of Chaos is game to lose here, as they're just painting desperately on the zone, and Star Guardians of Chaos will take game 5, 1 game away. Not 1 game away, but 1 game closer to winning this set.
A little bit too soon, but yes, Star Guardians of Chaos was able to take the lead in the set in a really convincing fashion. They did lose zone a couple of times, and In the Trenches was able to make a push back in, but Star Guardians of Chaos just had the better retakes. They just had the cheese, like I mentioned earlier, to just instantly recap the zone, and In the Trenches couldn't really do anything about that. Only thing that In the Trenches could have really done in that situation was to just kill like everyone before the specials were able to get popped, but that's not what happened. And Star Guardians of Chaos was able to get a bunch of good retakes on their end, and were able to just completely take the game in a really dominant fashion. So yeah, props to them for this, playing their comp in like a really good way, and just absolutely overwhelming In the Trenches with aggression. And In the Trenches is going to have to find an answer for this, as we are going to go into our next map, which is going to be on Tower Control Manta.
Yeah, and yeah, I'm just getting energetic for this. I almost spoke too soon, forgetting this is a 9-game series. In the Trenches still has plenty of maps left to go. They have to make sure they close out. They have to make sure they focus up, as Star Guardians of Chaos, anytime they run this comp, we have seen they have dominated, and it makes me wonder if In the Trenches might want to experiment with their own comps as well, see if they have some weapons in their pockets left to counter this lineup. And remember, Stargates of Chaos are running this lineup without a cooler, and they are still managing to hold their own pretty effectively, Virus.
Yes, 100%. Guardians of Chaos, again, like I mentioned earlier in this set, they just have a really good understanding of how their weapons play and how they should play and how their weapons play in the comp. And as a result, they just like have a playstyle that works extremely well for them. Just the hyper aggressive, just I'm going to kill you before you get a chance to regroup. Playstyle is just working extremely well for Guardians of Chaos. And and even though In the Trenches have had some answers in terms of in terms of the team fights that they have had against them, they're gonna have to like find more answers in order to try to counter this comp with their comp of their own. So whether that will be a slight playstyle shift, or just in general just some weapon switches altogether, we are going to see what In the Trenches is going to have to do in order to counteract this, as we are going to go into Tower Manta. And Tower Manta is one of those maps, it's one of those map modes where it feels like nothing is going, but once stuff gets going, it gets going, you know what I'm saying, Rocket?
Yeah, for sure. I 100% get what you mean, Virus. Just snowballing out of chaos. And we will see what these two teams bring. And electing to go with an entirely different lineup there. Look at that. The ballpoint and the vanilla slosher on the side of, I believe, In the Trenches. Look at that. Definitely a new wrinkle that we will see in here, Virus.
Yes, but also the Dapple Dualies on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos is completely like obsolete in this combo. I think it's because they took out the member who was using it. I believe there was a member switch. I could be wrong. Someone will correct me on that. But either way, um, it's a really it seemed like a really even game early on, but with two down on the side of both sides actually. Toxic does have the middle of the map. However, everyone's just on both sides right now. The Tick is all the way in the court of this on the side of In the Trenches before getting taken down. And right now we see Star Guardians of Chaos with control of the tower trying to push it forward. Right now the that does end up going down extremely early. So low cooler on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, and that enables not In the Trenches, my bad. And that enables Star Guardians of Chaos to making a really aggressive move all the way towards the court of In the Trenches, or with complete control of court, with all the specials in the world online, with the strikes online. It does look like they are going to try to move forward. However, the Zuka on the side of Toxic is going to be able to shut that down completely, and now that's going to enable In the Trenches to try to find a push of their own going forward. They do have the strikes on the side of this Slasher, and they are going to be close to an ancient really soon, so it could be a really good push on the side of In the Trenches coming up really soon. If they can kill the C-Tech, that could open up a lot of stuff. They do end up jumping out, so that does take care of the T-Tick. However, the T-Tick is going to be probably paying for strikes in their spawn, and are going to try to like put a stop to this push. However, the Inkjet on the side of Rapid Robbie is going to come out to try to create some space, and these guys on the side of Dragons of Chaos are stuck on the corner, and the end does end up going down early. So with multiple trades coming out, it does seem like In the Trenches does have the numbers advantage, but not before going 2 down. And now Star Guardians of Chaos is going to try to, has successfully put a stop to this push, are not able to come back yet, but they were able to put a good stop to this push, and that does give them opportunities to potentially come back in the future. But now without going 2 down again, and now In the Trenches is going to make a huge of their own, and they're probably going to take lead here, but it's stopped at the 58 mark. They are able to take lead right back, but not before Star Guardians of Chaos is just going to like try to put a stop to it. And this is a really like back and forth like push on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos part right here. And we are going to see if In the Trenches work will continue this momentum, or if the momentum is going to get stuffed out. And it does seem like it's going to get stuffed out, as Star Guardians of Chaos does have an advancement into mid to try to push back tower themselves.
Yeah, and with half of the game already over, nearing the later half of this, both teams are still pretty close in score. It is in no means over for Star Guardians of Chaos, as that initial push is thwarted with In the Trenches' beautiful response. 2 minutes left in the game, as both these teams still fighting for control of the zone, with 2 players down for SGC. In the Trenches managing to get a foothold, 3 members now, and it's just the Wellstring left to go run for the hills, run for their life. And with two ultimates and not ultimate specials available for in the trenches. Wrong game. They will pop them now as the triple ink strike goes out, the cooler going out as well to continue the momentum of this push and continuing to build the lead in the trenches, managing to take out more and more members of SGC. The Slosher here just creating all of the space, still managing to stay alive on the tower despite all members shooting at them. They will eventually go down, but with a score of 17 left in the trenches with a good lead now, can sit pretty comfortably, but as we all know in Splatoon, no lead is safe, so remains to be seen if in the trenches can manage to hold on to this.
Yes, 100%. We are approaching the last minute of this game. Star Guardians of the Chaos desperately has to make a move here in these last minutes if they want a chance at just extending at just putting their 3-2 into a 4-2 lead and putting them one more game away from winning Div 9A. However, it doesn't seem like the Industries is going to allow that to happen really easily, as they're just putting up the amount of pressure that they're having as two go down on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos before the Slosher gets traded out. And now Shadow on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos is in a machine fight against Toxic. They do end up trading, however, that trade is going to be in the favor of In the Trenches as they still maintain control of the middle of the map as well as the enemy bats, or the enemy bunker rather. And right now, In the Trenches, it just has a really good setup in mid, a really good crossfire setup in mid to try to stop any advances from Guardians of Chaos. However, the machine does go down early, but now without the inkjet coming out from the ballpoint, which does go down as well. However, with two down on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, I believe that's a T-Tech that tried to just make a beeline for tower. However, they were not able to make it in time, and as a result, In the Trenches is able to is able to tie up the series 3-3 as we are going into Game 7 of the set.
Both these teams continuing to go back and forward. No team managing to build a lead in this set at all, as when one team gains the advantage, the other team answers right back, as we are yet at another standstill, 3-3. As you mentioned, both these teams are able to adapt so well to each other, as In the Trenches pulling out a comp and pulling out weapons that they haven't previously shown in this set, such as the ballpoint and the V Slosher, able to counter Star Guardians of Chaos's lineup well, and again, proving that when they don't run that lineup, Star Guardians of Chaos unable to crack into In the Trenches as much. But we know that Star Guardians of Chaos have practiced these lineups before, and it has won them previous games. However, not quite doing too well against In the Trenches. In the Trenches just being able to counter any other lineup they have well, but In the Trenches definitely has to be thinking now of how to counter that def lineup of the three aggressive weapons. So definitely interested to see how that interaction may play out in Game 7, Rainmaker, Hagglefish Market, which would be a really good map to bring out that lineup on.
Yes, 100%. I do expect like all those weapons from the previous games that Star Guardians of Chaos has been running to come out online once again. And I'm pretty sure that we're going to see it. If we don't see it, I'm personally going to be surprised. I do expect to see a well string coming out from Guardians of Chaos as well, considering that is what they have ran last time. But other than that, I do expect the stamp throws to go crazy this game as well. It went crazy Game 2, I pray, or not Game 2, I believe Game 3. Game 2 or 3, I'm not entirely sure. And I expect it to go crazy once again. I expect it to go crazy once again. Like, if the stamp is not going to quad this game, I'm going to be generally upset.
Yeah, for sure. Both of these teams, again, proving they are heavyweights. They are in the finals for a reason, and I don't know about you, Virus, but I'm just hoping for a full 9-game series. I just want Chaos to endure and just continuing to show off how well these teams play and how well they've done to make it all the way here in the trenches. Star Guardians of Chaos back and forward. Just, it's amazing to see this level at this level, and want to take a moment to thank all of you who are here. I see a lot of Spanish-speaking fans for SGC. I see a lot of fans for In the Trenches on Twitch, in the chat. Get hype, as we are still going at it between these two teams. But yeah, like you said, I'm definitely hyped to see if we can see any more highlight stamper throws.
Yes, 100%. And this whole entire set is just going crazy as well. I expect the set to go all the way. But either way, we are gonna get into our game 7. And yep, we're back at the dive comp. We're back at the dive bomb comp in on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. Meanwhile, in the trenches, did run the double bucket comp last game. It did work out really well for them, and they are going to opt to run it again on Rainmaker Hagglefish. It will probably be an answer to this comp that they're running so far. A bunch of AoE could potentially put a stop to all this aggression on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. We are going to see how this plays out. And right, however, Okisama it does get called out on this bottom right side of the map with all the bombs coming out on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos. They are able to successfully jump out, so they do preserve the life there. And with the cooler coming out in the trenches, it does seem like that they're gonna rush forward as the Inkjet does get a pick on the junior. However, two go down on the side of in the trenches, and now Star Guardians of Chaos is just rushing forward on the side of in the trenches, and then the trenches is just backed up in a corner without much space in the middle of the map. They are going to try to special out to try to create some space. However, Guardians of Chaos is aggression is just too much for them, and they are going to be able to get the Rainmaker grab and are potentially going to look at the left checkpoint. They are going to approach it, and they are going to be able to secure, but not without the stringer, I believe, going down. But either way, that's an early checkpoint on this map is really good considering how difficult it could feel to just push forward sometimes. And they're just gonna keep on going. Julius is just gonna grab the Rainmaker and just rush it all the way over to 42. And that's a pretty big lead on this map considering how hard it is to push on this map. And now in the trenches on the back foot with two specials at the ready to try to retake lead. However, T-Tech on the flank trying to create some space on the side of in the trenches or Guardians of Chaos. However, they are gonna be taken down, and with 2-2 on the side of each team, we're now deep in the stalemate of mid, and in the trenches is gonna have to look for a big opportunity in order to try to push, to make a push of the run here.
Yeah, and that opportunity may come with the specials, as we see the Zuka going out as well, the Cooler going out as well. All specials online for in the trenches, and that might be the factor that will lead to the push. With two members down on the side of Star Guardians of Chaos, this could be the opportunity for in the trenches to make a push. However, specials of their own going out with the bubble we saw earlier, the triple ink strike from the T-Tech, not quite finding its mark. However, the great killing from the members of in the trenches clears a path for the first pop of their checkpoint, and Star Guardians of Chaos need to muster a defense here, as the lead can be easily switched just like that. You know it, you love it, the quick little lead change on this map. Love to see it, as we see Star Guardians of Chaos now staring down the defeat here. They have about 2 minutes left in this game to muster a push. Still plenty of time, still half of the game left, but that's brutal being able to get that jump there and immediately get your lead stolen.
You think your lead is Swift? You think your lead is safe, and all of a sudden the 5-foot jump between the checkpoint and the enemy player is just going to just take it right back. And that does seem like that's what's going to happen for Star Guardians of the Chaos, as that Restarter is able to create so much space for Guardians of Chaos. However, the ink strikes on the side of in the trenches was just able to put a quick stop to that, and with 3 down on the side of Guardians of Chaos, in the trenches is with complete control of mid is gonna maybe opt to let the rain reset. No, they're gonna grab it and moving back towards mid. Probably a really smart play by them. And right now, Star Guardians of the Chaos is gonna have to try to fight back for the space. However, with the Dapple Dualies down early, it does seem like that the advances are gonna be slowed down, but not without both of the slashers going down on the side of in the trenches. And now Guardians of the Chaos has another glimmer of hope to try to just hold their lead. Actually, no, not hold their lead, because they lost it earlier. My bad, I completely forgot about that. However, this gives Guardians of the Galaxy another glimmer of hope to try to retake lead. About optimal bubble could be the opportunity that they need to try to move forward. However, I believe that the bubble was placed a little bit too far back, and that doesn't allow in Guardians of the Galaxy, Guardians of Chaos to try to move forward. However, the Rainmaker's just gonna sneak through and get the Rainmaker all the way down to 4 points remaining, and that's completely huge for Guardians of Chaos. That's with 34 seconds left. All they need to do is just hold the ground and let Into the Trenches just waste all of their resources, and that will be the game for them.
Yeah, that Rainmaker carrier was just able to weave their way through all members of In the Trenches, managing to take the lead all the way down to 4 now with 15 seconds left. In the Trenches has one final push in them. 2 specials available for the sides of SGC, however, to slow them down. The bubble online with the triple ink strike as well, and with overtime hitting, Rapid Robbie has the fate of this game in their hands with the Rainmaker. One mistake will end this game, but with time ticking down, they need to create space. However, it will not be any further, as with that pick onto the Rainmaker carrier, Star Guardians of Chaos will take that game, and now with one game left for them to win, they know it, they can feel it, they just need one more good win with this death lineup, one more win to take the finals.
Yeah, it, like In the Trenches just had the potential push set up, but that bomb, like sometimes you think you're safe, and then all of a sudden, boom, flat bomb, and then your game's over. That's a really heartbreaking way for In the Trenches to just lose that game right there. However, they had a really that was like a really close set not a set, a really close game between the two teams. In the Trenches, this seemed like that they were going to just hold the ground for the rest of the game. However, Guardians of Chaos just had that one really huge push that brought them down all the way to 4, and as a result, they were just able to retake the lead right there, and were able to secure the game right there. And yeah, there's like really big back and forth between both teams. It's just that Guardians of Chaos just had the momentum in their favor for that one moment, and that was able to give them the game. But right now, it's now 4-3 in favor of Guardians of Chaos. In the Trenches needs to win 2 games and needs to win this game if they want to tie up the series and potentially have another chance at the gold in Division 9A. And that's potentially going to be, in this potentially final game, is going to be decided on Clamblitz Scorch Bucket.
Yeah, if you're on the side of In the Trenches, you have seen that you have been able to come back from deficits before, and you have been able to keep fighting in this set as well, because remember, no team has taken a 2-map advantage in this set. It has always gone back and forth. So if you're In the Trenches, you know that you can do this. You just need to execute it properly. And if you're SGC, you know, Uno Mas, one more. You just need one more win to pull away from this. And I know I keep beating a dead horse, but you probably know, we all probably know what they might run to take this last game, don't we, Virus?
If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Star Guardians of Chaos does have the comp that just works perfectly against In the Trenches constant double midline comps. Usually In the Trenches is just going to be running slower weapons, so this complete change of pace is just going to work really well for Star Guardians of Chaos. However, In the Trenches just needs to find the answer, to just pick apart that comp and just figure out what they need to do against it. As we are going to go into this potentially final game, Game 8. Guardians of Chaos just needs to win one more. Meanwhile, In the Trenches has no margin for error. They need to win this game, and they are going to be whipping out the double splat lane. That's something that I have been thinking that they could have been doing at some point, considering that Nautilus especially is really good at shredding these shorter range weapons, and I feel like this is the weapon change that they need for this next game. Meanwhile, Star Guardians of Chaos just continuing to like have that death ball, but will they get matchup checked by the Nautilus? We'll have to figure out soon. But right now, the Nautilus is this null and void for them, as they do get down early, and Guardians of Chaos is able to take a very early control of mid before they go 2 down. They're trying to just like rush forward into the ramp of In the Trenches. However, the push quickly fell apart, and now In the Trenches, with the constant spew of midlines that they have, is going to try to create some space of their own. Right now, we do see the Ink Shot on the side of Rappi that is not going to be able to get any picks, and with 1 down on the side of In the Trenches, it does seem like that Guardians of Chaos is going to make an advancement towards mid themselves, as they do get 2 down on the side of In the Trenches. And with this Nautilus just chilling on the grates, they are going to try to focus the Nautilus, and they do end up going down. Felix just like completely not caring about how much of an unfavorable matchup that they were putting themselves in, and just rush forward, and that just gives Star Guardians of Chaos an opportunity to get a very early score in 3 minutes and 30 seconds into the game.
Yeah, but a quick response from in the trenches there to make sure there isn't much follow-up, as 71 is not a bad push, but it is definitely you are definitely able to come back from it, as Rapid Robbie here on the Inkjet just trying to find value from it. And I want to take a mention about the Nautilus. The Nautilus is being used by Toxic, who we've seen has been kind of like a Swiss Army knife in the trenches, being able to switch from the Neo sloshing machine, we saw them using the Dread Ringer on Robo Ramen. So definitely interested to see how they'll use it here. As the triple splashdown goes, they do manage to find a pick off of it. Another player falling for SGC, and another as well with this flank, and off of the back of that, with 2 picks right there, a potential lead change here. It will be as such, triple ink strike available for the bucket as well to keep SGC away from this goal. However, the clams need to continue following in, and the clams do continue falling in as the lead keeps going down and down and down. 44 left. SGC needs to gain a foothold here. That is a good initial pick there onto the splat lane. Toxic here still a problem. However, they are quickly shut down, and off of that, a really great team play, really great maneuvering around SGC. The lead is now heavily in the trenches.
It does seem that in the trenches has found an answer against Star Guardians of Chaos' comp with the comp of their own. Their comp is extremely strong at just bunkering down space and just having a constant spew of just rapid fire shots on the enemy team from mid to long range, and that will just allow them to just put a stop to any mid-range weapon that tries to just push forward, which did allow them to get a score all the way down to 29. However, Guardians of Chaos is going to try to fight back with scores of their own. They aren't going to be able to get a decent amount of clams in before they end up going down to the crossfire that in the trenches has set up, but it's not enough to retake lead. And while they still do have somewhat control of mid, they're not going to be able to get any more clams in, as in the trenches was able to really quickly retake mid back. And like I said earlier, once they're set up, once they're positioned in their crossfire positions, it's going to be really difficult for Guardians of Chaos to just run them down as well, especially with how much range that their weapons have.
Yeah, and with a minute left in the trenches, by no means wants to give this lead up with 3 specials online, with the triple ink strike and the splashdown going online, managing to find 2 members of Star Guardians of Chaos off of that. They have a good position now to just maintain control of mid, and potentially if they even see an opportunity to go for the KO, they will take that in grace, as they have 2 balls available for them. However, with 2 members falling off of the back of that, as I say that, the Dapple's just trying to chase down these remaining members, which will be the ballpoint splatling being one of them, managing to live through that. And now, with that quick turnaround, with 25 seconds nearing off of the back of this potential reslider that might go in, yes, it will go in, trying to create space for the members of SGC. However, in the trenches, managing to keep their lives and kill that player with 15 seconds left. A push needs to come in, and it needs to come in fast, as both of these players with the balls just trying to stay alive. However, the tri-stringer going down there to that slosher, picks going back and forward, and off of the back of that bomb kill, it will be a wipeout for SGC. This could be proven huge here if they can get the clams in. They need to get it in fast to potentially end this series right here, and they will end the series right there off of the back of a last-minute wipeout. SGC are your Division 9A champions off of that last-minute push. That was unexpected and amazing by SGC right there. I'm just speechless at the end of that, for sure. I'm sure Twitch chat is going crazy right now. Vamos SGC able to get a last second push in and being able to get all the clams in. Felix right there managing to have the honor of getting in that last clam and winning it for SGC. In the trenches, we're doing so well for that comeback, but unfortunately SGC just barely getting the narrowly getting the edge on them. And it looks like game 9 was right then and there, but props to SGC for getting that last second win. That def lineup proving deadly throughout this. They won every single map in this series off of the back of that. But if you're on the side of in the trenches, GG's to you as well. You put up a valiant effort. You traded blow for blow, but unable to solve the enigma that is the Def lineup. SGC, the victors. It's just amazing to see. Off of the back of that, thank you all for being here. I know it might be late hours, but just thank you for joining us for this quite amazing series between two well fought out teams in the trenches, being able to survive their initial bracket, being able to take the victory narrowly and making it all the way to the finals is a feat of itself. So GG's to them.
Yes, GG's to complete GG's to SGC. Like both of these teams played out of their minds today, but at the end of the day, SGC just like mustered out a little bit more impact out of their plays than in the trenches was able to deal with. And as a result, Guardians of Chaos was able to just secure that in a very not dominant fashion. I don't know what I'm saying dominant fashion for, but they were able to just like come back in that last game. That last game was absolutely insane on the side of Guardians of Chaos.
Yeah, for sure. And before you tune out, remember this entire weekend is filled with is going to be filled brim pack with all these finals and all these intense games, as actually tomorrow we have a Division 8 W matchup at 3 p.m. Eastern time, as well as another one later in the day at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the 8A division matchups.
Yes, this weekend it's a bunch of looting tonight, with some matches not being tonight. Well, some matches are tonight. It just depends on where you live. But if you live in the East Coast, a lot of these matches are like, some of these matches are not tonight, some of these matches are tonight. That's besides the point. But yeah, a lot of looty this weekend. The final looty sets that we have for looty finals, especially on Sunday with Division 1, with both Division 1 semifinals and Division 1 and the Division 1 finals coming up for us between 37 Sexy Boys, Facade, Nod, Win, and Hades. So be sure to be on the lookout for that particular day as well. But that's going to be it for both me and Rocket on comms. Rocket, where can they find you?
Yeah, for sure. You can find me on Discord, on Twitch, and at Twitter at Rocket_Splat. It's going to be the same for Twitter and Twitch. If you're looking for me in Discord, it's going to be at Rockety. You can probably find me in basically every major Splatoon server, just hanging around. If you ever want to shoot me a DM or even just come by to chat, definitely stop by. I'll be happy to talk with you. But enough about me. Where can the people find you, Virus?
You could find me on Twitter, YouTube, and Twitch at the name Zyrus. That's TheNamesVirxZ. You can see on screen right here. That's how it's spelled. You can find me on all of those 3 platforms. I do stream occasionally, so hopefully you'll be able to check me out there. And but yeah, that's gonna be it for us on Looty tonight. Thank you to everyone for tuning in with the 2 sets that we have watched, and we will see you tomorrow for more Looty tonight.
Take care.